John?
Yes, Sandra, thank
Good
you very
evening.
much.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
And
I'm
where are
enjoying
you
your
from,
program
John?
so far.
You're well.
Sandra, can I make an appeal on the screen, please, to
By all
your
means.
viewers?
Right.
I'm looking for photographs of Old Douglas. I'm trying to establish a photographic archive so that our history will be recorded in photographs which, as you know, in a new area, tend to vanish as the area grow. The older stock die away, and those that replace them very often throughout such articles that would be of interest. Now, I have up to now been successful in some regard. I have quite a number of photographs already in the archive.
How far back do you actually want these photographs to go, John?
Well,
Dating
I
back
just
to
got
when?
one this morning from a good friend of mine, Walter McGrath of Cork, who got it originally from Wales, a photograph taken of Douglas in the year 1899. And that was discovered in a trunk in a grandson's possession when he had went through his grandfather's belongings. So you see, there is stuff around, even if it's outside the country. Oh, there must be much more in the area. And alas, I think it's been neglected. And of course, if you had one central archive, then future students of local history would know where to go rather than knocking at a door and looking for one print here and two prints there.
Would you be looking for anything in particular, John, or just general photographs?
Anything, Sandra. Areas, people, even correspondence, diaries would be of use, sketches. There must be innumerable such photographs in the area, and as I say, locked away and eventually left to rot or put into the fire. Now, I would return, of course, the originals, if people so wish to retain them, and I can get copies made of any picture, and within 10 days have it returned to the owner. They can drop it into me at my premises in Bookdeal in Tramway Terrace. As I said, they'll be doing a service for the area as well. We'll be housing an archive in photographs of our past history.
John, when did you take an interest in this yourself?
Well, I always had an interest in it, Paul, through my father, you know.
Very
but
good indeed.
I think I'm the only one that's doing it on photograph. Con Foley did an excellent book, by the way, on the history of Douglas. But I know from what I research and what probing about I've done myself that there are quite a number of prints, very nice ones too, which good friends of mine recently have lent me. And as I said, I am already building the collection. Now, we will in time exhibit in the locality. So those people who are new in the area can see what the past was in Douglas, and those older will have the satisfaction, the fun of seeing old places again. It's amazing how fast they can vanish from the memory. Douglas is a place that has changed out of all proportions in the last 20 years.
How long are you there yourself, John?
Pardon?
How long are you living in Douglas
I'm
yourself?
there, Paul, over 40 years.
40 years.
And
What changes have you seen in Douglas?
Oh, good heavens, it was just two main streets, East Douglas, West Village, with two graveyards in between. That was Douglas at one time. Now it's extending out into the boroughs of Carrigaline. It's joined up with Rochestown, and it's a link with the city. It's gone huge in the last 10 years even.
I believe you're in business yourself. Is it in the Douglas area?
That is correct. In Tramway Terrace, I run Bookdeal, which is a second-hand bookshop, which opened a year ago.
Right.
And they can call and contact me there. I'd be delighted to see them. Or even come in and talk and discuss some aspect, that little knowledge they could have of the locality. But they can drop the prints into me, and I can take care of them, have them copied, and return them to the owner with no problem.
Well, John, your plea has been made. We wish you the best of luck, and you will let us know the end result?
We will indeed. Thank you very much. Let's hope we can invite you to our exhibition in time.
Love to go. Thanks very much, John.
Bye-bye, Sandra.
Thank you. Good evening to you. Thank you. Now we turn back to sport, and Douglas Hall Soccer Club was founded 19 years ago. They've won lots of honours at various levels and boast a very strong membership in the Douglas area. We now speak to Treasurer Con Harrington and Assistant Secretary Dennis Carroll, who share with us some of the memories of 19 years.
Yes, indeed, Trevor. Lots of good memories and a few disappointments as well, but over the 19 years I reckon we'd have to be pretty happy with the achievements that the club has had over that period. From very humble beginnings in the 3rd division of the Cork AUL with just one team and 12 players, we've grown into a club with an intermediate team, 2 junior teams, and all the various levels of schoolboys from under 18 down to under 8. Also, we've won every major trophy in the Cork AUL leagues that's been available to us, and we've also had success at provincial level, and that we had won the Munster Junior Cup a couple of years ago. So over the years we would be very happy with the progress, and I hope the next 19 will be as good.
Right, Con, of course, 3 of your playing fields behind you here and a training ground as well.
Yes, well, we've been up here now since 1980. For the first, during the 70s, we were either playing in rented pitches or pitches provided by the Cork AUL, which wasn't very satisfactory. Since we moved up here in 1980, that's been the, from 1980 onwards, has been the successful period in the club. Prior to that, I don't think we had won any major trophy. We hadn't actually, and it's since 1980 that all those honours have come our way, and we think it's largely down to the fact that we have a base in Douglas and we have our own pitches that, you know, we're not moving from pitch to pitch every year. The downside of that, of course, has been trying to pay for it.
Right. Con, of course, obviously, in the 19 years, you've lots of characters and lots of well-known soccer players coming through the ranks here at Douglas Hall.
Yes, we've had quite a number of characters and lots of people that we spend a lot of yarns about. We've had famous incident that's fairly well known throughout the club. In the early days, our trainer, we had a very dedicated trainer, John O'Leary, who had a particular interest in our diet. I can tell you that wasn't terribly well received, especially the liquid part of the diet. John would insist that on Saturdays that we wouldn't partake in any socialising, but remember we played Rockmount. No, it was our first season. Rockmount were one of the top teams in Cork at the time, and John arrived into the dressing room with a jar of honey. Proceeded to spoon a spoonful for each of us, which again, as I say, wouldn't have went down too well on a Sunday morning. But one of the lads who was on the panel, who never quite made the team, got very interested in the honey and was asking John after the game what was the idea of it, and John went on to say lots of benefits derived from honey and what have you, and explain how good it was for the chest and the breathing and lungs and what have you. So our friend proceeded the following week then to actually go and buy a jar of honey himself and actually applied it to his chest as you might with Vic. So he came down to training on the following Thursday night, asking John what the what was the story, because when he went to obviously remove the clothes, he was in obviously a difficult state. We've also had a lot of other good characters within the club, the likes of Larry O'Sullivan and those lads who have been there from the start, who are fairly well known around the village for reasons other than football, I suppose. But yes, we've had our share.
Of course, Con, it's the first year of the intermediate section. What's your views on this? Douglas Hall involved there, of course.
Yeah, we've had a very bad start to the season, but we're now in the running for that, for the league. We have an outside chance, I might say, but we're also in the final of the College Corinthians Cup, which I think is on the 6th of May. So we're happy enough with our progress. I'm not sure that the Intermediate League has been as successful as everybody had hoped. There are not enough teams in it at the moment, no variety. You're playing the same teams over and over again. We played Temple United, or we will have played them 5 times before the end of the season. We played lots of teams 4 times, so there's not enough variety in it at the moment.
Right, tough going. Have you played yourself this year, Con?
Only when they're short.
Okay, Dennis, if I can turn to yourself. You spend a lot of time with the youths here at Douglas Hall.
Well, I give as much time as I can to Trevor, yes, to the under-8 section of our club. As CJ has already stated there, we run under-8, under-10s in the Southside League. We have an under-11, 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 17s, and a youth team. Success-wise, I suppose you couldn't say we have been very successful. We've won a few trophies under 12 and under 8, under 10 in the last few years, going back a few years. At the moment, we have a youth team who are doing very, very well at the moment. They're on top of their league with just a few matches to go. So we would hope that at the end of the year, at least we would have, in the youth section, that we would have at least 1 trophy on the sideboard. And under 14, I suppose it's only fair that I should mention this. We have a son playing with us, the son of a famous father, Alex Lodzic, young lad. He's one of the best young lads that I've ever seen to be in the right place to put the ball away in the net. So
on the Cork team as well.
He was indeed, yes, Trevor. He was honoured by the Cork under-14 team this year, and you know, we're proud of that.
Right then, and obviously you enjoy working with the Douglas Hall Club here.
Well, I enjoy it all right, but you can be overworked at times, Trevor, as I said, and the one thing that I would like, the message I would like to give to the people of Douglas is that we could do with a lot more people in the club at underage level, because I find that too many people, or too little people, are doing too many jobs. In other words, you could be stuck, myself, under the 14s, and I find that I have to give a hand out now to 8s and 10s and the 11s. So, you know, overall, if there are people out there in Douglas who are interested, we would certainly welcome them to our club.
And the latest news from the Douglas Hall area is that they've applied to the National Lottery for a grant to develop the dressing room complex and the training ground facilities. Now, another financial institution in Douglas is the First National Building Society, where the manager there is Dermot Long. He tells us now of their branch.
Sandra, we've been here since September 1985, so we're almost 5 years in the centre of Douglas now. We have 3 people working in the branch, myself as manager and 2 cashiers. Our opening hours run from 9:30 until 5:15 straight through, with no lunchtime closing. We also open on a Saturday morning from 9:30 to 12:30, so we're unusual to that extent.
And what kind of facilities do you have here?
Well, we obviously offer the normal mortgage service, but we're changing our image, we're changing what we do, and like our slogan says now, we're more than a building society, more than a bank. We have some very attractive investment packages to offer to people with guaranteed rates of return.
Okay, do you think location, now you're in the centre of the parish, do you think the location is important?
Oh yes, the location here is good, but over the past 2 years it has got much better. The Douglas village has developed, we've had a number of new businesses opened, and it has mushroomed and blossomed as a business centre. I think many more people shop here now than did 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Right.
Certainly feel very positive and optimistic about the future of Douglas.
Have you any plans yourselves for expansion in the near future?
Well, in terms of expanding the branch, we're limited because we don't have the extra space, but in terms of services, we will have many more new services over the next 6 to 12 months. So we will have many more reasons for people to come in and say hi to us.
Right. Of course, one of the many changing faces in Douglas is restaurants, and indeed there's a lovely restaurant now open at the Douglas Court Shopping Centre, and that's the New Bewley's restaurant, a 170-seater restaurant there, employing 24 people, and well done indeed, and we wish Noel and Dennis O'Brien the very best of luck with their new venture. Just gave us a call there at 965 888. All right, making a programme such as Look Around the Parish is not possible, of course, without these people, our sponsors. Bank of Ireland are delighted to announce the appointment of Mr. Tom Monaghan as their branch manager in Douglas. Tom Monaghan is a well-known sports personality in both hurling and golf and is looking forward to meeting the people of Douglas. For all your hang-ups and great off-the-wall value, it must be the Framemaker, Morris House, Douglas, Cork.
You're on the ball with Opal from Johnson & Perrott, Douglas Road, Cork.
Best wishes to all in Douglas from Tom O'Connor and staff.
Falvey's Pharmacy, Douglas Shopping Centre. Our agents for Longcom, Elizabeth Arden, Biotherm and exclusive designer sunglasses and perfumes.
Cashman's offer you a new experience in betting. Over 40 spectacular special offers daily, plus a minimum of 12 horse races and 10 greyhound races, now screened live daily by SIS in all our branches. Whether you're a professional or beginner, when you pay us a visit, you'll be pleasantly surprised and entertained. North, south, east or west, there's a Cashman's branch near you.
Castle Cleaners Douglas for all your dry cleaning needs. Also at North Main Street, Cork.
Welcome back. Well, now we had a call from a viewer in Douglas who wants to know, are there any women in Douglas or have we forgotten about them because we haven't featured any? Well, we're going to feature one now as we move to Piper's Amusements, who are located across the road from Douglas Garda Station, and we talk to Mrs. Piper.
In this particular yard now about 67 years. Before that, they were in a field called Morris's Field, which is under the Bowo Bridge. That would be in the 1916, the time of the Rising. At that time, it was, pretty dangerous because the IRA, or the Freedom Fighters, whatever we used to call them, were stationed in the Highty Hills, firing down on the armoured cars coming from the Crosshaven direction. And he had to protect the caravan, because the bullets were flying and hitting off the back of it and ricocheting and what have you, So it was pretty horrendous time of show business anyway.
Very good.
Then as the fun fair expanded, he was lucky enough to acquire this yard, and we've been here then for the last 67 years.
Now, when did you meet up with Mr. Piper himself?
Oh, 30 years ago.
Was it love at first sight?
Love at first sight. Well, I suppose you could say 33 years ago, really, because we were, going out together for about 3 years before we married. So
where did you meet?
In Crosshaven, where everybody, a lot of people met their future partners in Crosshaven. We had some famous people spent their summers there. Our former Taoiseach, Jack Lynch, and a great friend of ours who always never fails to call, Joe Lynch, or Dinny Bourne.
Rory Gallagher,
he paid a visit when he was doing a video with a German crew. He was doing some album in Germany, and he came and searched Ireland. And a great friend of ours too, Billy Board, Board's Amusements, sent him down to us in Crosshaven, and he done his video in Crosshaven on all the fun fair rides. He done the bumpers and the chairs and the horses and the boats and what have you, and he's there.
33 years, my goodness, it's a long time really touring with the fun fair.
It is, yeah.
Do you tour it that much?
Well, not now. It's not feasible really to travel. We open here in Douglas, and we head to Crosshaven for the summer season. And we're there from middle of May until the end of August. Come back here then, and you have children going to school, and you'd like to keep them.
Is it a tough life?
Well, it's all work, it's all hard work. There's never a day that you can't say, well, I've nothing to do today. There's always something to be done. There's painting,
to maintain,
repairing, overseeing the equipment, and you have to keep it up to scratch.
You must have met a lot of staff throughout the years.
Oh yeah.
Changed hands.
Oh yeah. At one time, years ago, in the time of the steam engines, there was 25 of us staff here travelling. When the steam engines used to pull all this lot around West Cork and Kerry, and they travelled all over the country then. But in later years, then they just done they used to do the Mardyke as well. Mardyke was a great place, but that's made into a kind of an amenity park now. So,
what rides do you have here?
All the old fun fair rides, the traditional rides, the one we're sitting on here or standing on, will never die out as long as there's children born. The horses will be popular. And there's the boats and the dodgems, the chaeroplanes, mini dodgems, the carousel. I left out something now and I don't know what it was. Oh, little train ride, mostly kiddies. I think catering for kids is very important.
Any nice stories to tell us?
Just a matter of interest. The chaeroplanes came when they were doing a building fund for Christ the King Church. And they came 64 years ago, and my brother-in-law, Tom, he was actually born on that site, on that particular site where the church stands today. Tom Piper was born 64 years ago.
Your own family here, how many kids?
I have 4 sons. I have one in England, one at school, in community school, and one in Carrigaline, and one here with us.
Do the family always help out?
Yes, only for the family. Only for the family. You would never get on at all. They're great. They come in after their own work, and they just muck in. From the oldest to the youngest of them, they all do their bit.
But is it hard at times working with the family?
No. I mean, like any other family, I suppose you have your odd argument, but it's soon forgotten. Get on with it. Get on with the job. The show must go on, and that's it.
You're open on Sundays now all the time here?
We open Sunday here in Douglas at 3 o'clock, and we'll continue doing that until we move to Crosshaven, and then we'll open every night.
What would your average child spend in an afternoon at the Murrays?
It varies. It depends. If they're with their mummies and daddies, you couldn't really judge. they'll say we spend X amount today, but you know, children, I mean, if I brought my own grandchildren out, you'd overspend, and you don't mind doing it. You know, when the kids are enjoying themselves, I don't think you mind doing it, you know.
Where do you see Piper's going from here?
Carrying on the tradition, hopefully. There's 4 sons, 4 of my sons. There's 2 of Tom's sons. I have 2 grandsons. And there's other little, my niece has 2 sons, so you don't know us, you know. Hopefully it'll go on and on, you know.
Well, Mrs. Piper not only open Sundays, but asked me to tell you that she's now open Friday nights as well. All right? Thank you indeed to Mrs. Piper. Well, as we know, the world revolves around money. Frank O'Sullivan is manager of the Cork and Limerick Savings Bank in Douglas. He first of all tells us a little bit about the parish and also the branch in Douglas.
Well, Douglas is now a major commercial centre. You have Douglas shopping centre across the road. You have Douglas Village itself. And now you have Douglas Court shopping centre. And the bank itself has its headquarters in Douglas as well, so Douglas would be regarded as a major commercial centre, I would think now, competing with the city for a lot of business.
Could you tell us a bit about this particular branch?
Well, this branch was opened in 1973, and there were 3 staff in the branch at that stage. Since then, the branch has grown to 17 staff, and the services that we have obviously grown since then as well. I think the major advantage we have in Douglas here is our opening hours. The fact that we're here till 6:30 on a Monday and 6:30 on a Friday. It's a great help to the people in Douglas to be able to come in at those hours.
Right, well, it obviously draws business to you, the fact that people don't have to go into town to do their banking.
Oh, it certainly does, and we find that people on the way home from work can drop in. We had a bit of problem there for a few years with people trying to park their car in the car park, but we've now a staff car park behind our administration centre, so the car park is free, which is a great help to our customers as well.
Right, now seeing as Douglas itself seems to be growing every week, so to speak, can you see your own premises expanding?
Well, with technology, the technology we have, there's no need, I would say, for the branch to expand, because a lot of people or the people who come in once or twice a week before, they need only come in once a month now. You have the ATM outside the branch, and if people want to take out a small amount of money, they can use that. There's not the need to come into the branch that they used to be before. So I don't see the branch expanding that much more because of that.
Now, you would obviously have all the services familiar to any bank.
Oh, we would. I mean, from the small child coming in opening a savings account to somebody coming in with a substantial amount of money for unit-linked investments or fixed sums investment. So we would have a full range of banking services, from lending, money transmission service, foreign exchange. You know, everything that a bank would have now, we'd be offering that as well.
Do you think people are more open, so to speak, about their financial matters if they can do so in their own parish rather than going to some other place?
I'd say the reason people would be coming to Douglas to do their banking rather than the city centre would be not that they prefer to do their banking in Douglas or the city centre, but with traffic in town now, it is very difficult for people to do their banking or any of their shopping or anything like that in town. So not only Douglas, I suppose Bishopstown and other centres like that would be finding that people would be coming there for their business, and banks would find the exact same, and that's why you'd have branches of the bank opening in the suburbs rather than the city now, because that seems to be where the business is.
And obviously with for example, the shopping centre, the new Douglas Court shopping centre, that would obviously attract business due to convenience as well.
Oh, it would. We found in the last couple of weeks particularly that a lot of people from other branches come into Douglas now to do their business, either using the ATM or actually coming to the counter to do their transaction. So certainly it's bringing business to town, to the village. I think it will need a settling in period to see exactly what it will mean to Douglas, but it's certainly generating a lot more business in the branch and around the village. There's a lot more people to be seen around the place now.
our number here this evening, if you want to contact us, is 965 888, and we did actually get a call during the break. It's from Kevin O'Sullivan, and Kevin is from Woodview in Douglas, and he's a former international soccer ref, and he phoned to tell us that he's just been appointed ref in the FAI Senior Cup this year. That takes place at Lansdowne Road on the 13th of May, and that is of course between St Francis and Bray. So well done to Kevin, and best of luck for the day. Don't forget the number again if you do want to contact us, is 965 888. We would love to talk to you. If you have anything to tell us about Douglas, anything of interest, please do contact us. Douglas Tennis Club was founded in 1927 in Douglas Village and moved in 1982 to its present location, where it boasts 6 all-weather courts and a clubhouse. It's a club that has produced many fine players over the years, the most famous being Ireland's Davis Cup member Sean Sorensen. We now meet its club captain, Michael O'Connell.
Douglas Tennis Club is an excellent club to play for. The atmosphere here is very friendly, and it is a family-orientated club. We have a membership of 1,000, which would consist of maybe family memberships, senior memberships and junior. We're well respected when we're playing away from home. Our tournaments are well and truly supported, and
you hold a lot of championships out here, actually, Michael.
We do, yes. We do. At the moment, we are involved in the Munster Cup Intermediate League, ladies and gents, and coming up shortly we'll have the Nationals Cup, Michelle Guinness Summer and Veterans Trophies. Also on the 17th to the 24th of June we have our Open Championships, and which are incidentally sponsored by the Irish Permanent Building Society Douglas. Following on the senior, we have the Junior Open, which is unbelievably supported from all Munster, and come towards the end of August we have the Douglas Close.
How have Douglas Tennis Club themselves performed in past tournaments?
Excellent. Last year we did very well indeed in a few tournaments. The one would be the Civil Service Cup, which is a prestigious trophy, and we won it well. Actually, we had 2 teams in the final, our B side and our A side.
Of course, Douglas Tennis Club can boast a very famous son of tennis, Sean Sorensen.
That's right. Sean started his tennis in the Douglas Lawn Tennis, I'd imagine, down in the old courts in the back of Joe Donovan's supermarket. And we came up here in the 1982, and Sean went on from there to greater heights.
Right, of course, I see looking around me here, Michael, that you cater for a lot of young tennis students.
Yes, indeed. The children, of course, are the future, and if we don't get them involved in tennis when they're young, they, tends to be just die out. So it's great to see all the coaching going on behind me here now with the coaches, and they're here most every day, and we have coaching coming up shortly for senior members who are, shall we say, not very good.
And finally, Michael, I'm sure you're proud yourself to be the club captain here at Douglas.
It is indeed. It's quite a great honour for me to be club captain. It came to me as a surprise, actually, but I always maintain a job has to be done, and we try and do the best we can.
Now, don't forget that number is 965 888, 965 888, if you think of anything of interest to give to us for the programme. We'd love to take you live on the air, okay? 965 888. Now, Mary Fitzgerald gave us a call. She says, so if you're looking for home-cooked food and home-cooked salads, it must be Daly's in Douglas West. Well done indeed. In with the plug, Mary. Fair play to you. Now, on my travels through Douglas, I came across a well-known character there and a well-known businessman, Joe O'Donovan. Joe, originally from Shanbally, and I asked him how he got into the world of business.
How did you start out first day? Is it a vegetable round the herd?
That's right, from door to door.
Sure.
And Volkswagen van, well, it's the only one I can remember the number of, and all the cars since. It's AT9029, that was the famous van.
So it must have been happy memories anyway.
Ah, yeah, some pleasant days.
Now, when you came into Douglas first day, where did you open up here?
In what was originally Machine's news agency. That was in 63 then. And we went from there. Then a few years after that, then we expanded into what was then a new concept in shopping. That was the supermarket. We were the first actual supermarket to come to Douglas. And things developed fairly lively from there on in. Quinsworth came a few years after that, and then things started to expand.
When
rapidly.
Quinsworth came to Douglas, did it frighten you in any way?
Well, we were apprehensive about it. You know, it's multinationals are fairly big and they carry a lot of power. They've got a lot of advertising behind them, you know, and it does make it that little bit more difficult.
Joe, you must have seen a lot of changes in Douglas in the years.
Oh, yes. It went from a small little country village, and now it's one of the satellite arms of Cork City. And it's the gateway to the south now and to the Ringaskiddy itself, which is going to be in a few years' time. It's going to be a massive operation.
They say Joe Donovan is an early riser. What would your day consist of, Joe?
Well, I usually get up between 7 and 5:30 and jog away then until dinner time, and usually up around 6 and 7 o'clock. You know, I take a little trip after that and around to see if everything is okay.
Now, family-wise, Joe, working here in Douglas, you're working quite a lot. Does it affect the family life in any way?
Not really, no. Well, most of the family are involved in the business, like, and they're interested. And they all seem to like it. There's a lot of variety in the business. You know,
so now in Douglas you have the filling station here, the supermarket, and what else in Douglas?
The off-licence.
The off-licence, when did that open?
That opened 5 years ago exactly. That's going well. That's another thing that's coming in now with the off-licences in garages. It's another new concept. Before it wouldn't be allowed, but it's something that's going to be in the future now.
And I believe you also have a branch in Passage, is that right?
That's right.
How's that going?
We have two in Passage and one in Monkstown and one in Chambly.
Very good. Finally, a lot of people have asked me, we'll finish it off, is Joe Donovan a wealthy man?
Well, now I let that to the viewers and to the customer. And if it keeps them happy, knowing that I'm a wealthy man, it makes me happy too.
Our phone number here this evening is 965 888. If you'd like to contact us, please do. Our lines are open at the moment. If you'd like to tell us anything about Douglas, we'd love to take your call. Mrs. O'Donnell actually rang. She told us that she'd like to congratulate the Douglas Pitch and Putt team, who won the Senior League Men's last Sunday week, and that was against Crosshaven. Congratulations all round there to the Douglas Pitch and Putt team last Sunday week. Now, Douglas GAA Club was founded back in 1887, and they released a celebration book in 1987 to celebrate their 100th year. It's a club with a big membership and also boasts local sponsorship and support from the people of Douglas. To talk about the club, we meet Brendan Larkin, the club's PRO.
Yes, Trevor, 1887, we consider that was the founding year of the club, and to coincide with the centenary, we collated a history book and launched it in 1987. To celebrate the centenary of the GAA in Douglas.
Right, obviously a lot has happened since then. You've different grades here. What are in fact the grades here, Brendan?
Well, our highest grade, Trevor, is intermediate football and hurling, and then we drop down to junior, minor, under 16, under 15, 14 and 13.
At the street leagues you've run recently, they were very successful, I think, Brendan?
Yeah, we're very fortunate with the street leagues, Trevor, and the people that are organising street leagues. Highly successful and very beneficial to the club. We have some marvellous underage players coming along now, and you know, the street leagues, as everybody knows, is the very foundation of it, and having the youngsters involved, and certainly the club there's a rosy future for the club because of the street league base that we have, you know.
Douglas has enjoyed success time to time, hasn't it, Brendan?
Yes, Trevor. We're not one of the most highly successful clubs, but periodically we get the odd success, and that certainly keeps us going. We won a junior county in '62. We were senior football for 2 years after that, 63 and 64. We won a junior hurling championship in '66. In the 80s, we're very good to us in hurling as well. We won 2 junior championships back-to-back in '83 and '84. So we've had our degree of success, Trevor. We certainly have, yeah.
And a few members of the Douglas GAA Club have a few All-Ireland medals to their names as well.
Yes, Trevor, we're fortunate in that regard. Not as many as some of the more established clubs, all right, but we've had a few. Michael O'Regan has one that comes to mind readily. He won an All-Ireland medal in 1974, a minor All-Ireland in '74. Before him, Joe Sullivan had won one in 1968, and I had the pleasure of winning one in '61, sorry.
Right, of course, you told me a while ago, every club obviously wants to play senior. Douglas were senior at one stage.
Yeah, as I say, we won the junior championship in '62, and we were senior for 63 and 64. I mean, it's our ambition to get back there, Trevor, and, you know, with the area that we have, it's an enormous area, there's plenty of players around, and with the fine street league structure, the under-age structure that we've got, we're hoping that it won't be too long before we'll be back in senior ranks again. We've Intermediate Football Championship now coming up next week, and hopefully we'll get a victory there and go on, and if we win that, we'll be senior then.
And of course, one final thing, Brendan, you mentioned to me a while ago, 1887 was the first game Douglas played, the hurling match against Ballinhassig.
Yes, Trevor, we were chatting about that there a few minutes ago, and, you know, while I was responsible for doing the book, and I was hunting around for the result of that particular game against Ballinhassig, and could find nothing in the Cork papers apart from a small little paragraph saying that we were beaten and where the game was played and the referee of the game. And a few months ago I was invited to the launching of a book for Ballinhassig J Club by a colleague of mine, Dick Culnan. And lo and behold, in his book, he had a full match report of the game. And I said to him, where in heaven's name did he get the match report of it? I said, I had scoured the papers in Cork for it and couldn't find it. And he says, Brendan, you'd never have found it in any of the papers in Cork. He said, it came from the Celtic Times in County Clare. And I said, how in heaven's name did that happen? And he said, the reporter from the Celtic Times came to Cork to report on a game. And that game did not take place. And the reporter, looking for something to do, wandered off down to the athletic grounds in Cork, found this particular game going on, and duly reported in detail the Douglas and Ballinhassig game in the Clare Celtic Times. And that's where the match report came from.
Well, we've already had one lady on this evening's programme. That was, of course, Mrs. Piper. And Michael O'Regan phoned us to tell us that any other ladies listening in Douglas might be interested in joining the Douglas Camogie Club. And they're open to take membership for ladies on Wednesdays between 6 and 8 and Sunday 11 to 12:30. So go on, ladies, off you go to join Douglas Camogie Club. Michael O'Regan would certainly like to hear from you. Our last financial institute that we visit this evening is the Bank of Ireland. That's located at Douglas Shopping Centre. John Hewitt is the assistant manager there. He's going to tell us a bit about the Bank of Ireland branch in Douglas.
This branch opened in 1972, having previously we had a sub-office up outside the Briar Rose. And the branch has been here and expanded since that time to an extent where we now have a staff of 17.
Right, and you would obviously have all the usual facilities that a bank would have.
We have all the usual facilities and have moved ahead with times and have a good base here, both personal and commercial and agri.
Do you think your location here is important?
I do. I think we have an excellent location here, right in the heart of Douglas, in the village. Excellent car park space and a good sized branch as well.
Right.
Customer space.
And what are your opening hours?
Our opening hours are the normal banking opening hours, and we also have back here a new cash machine, which gives 24-hour banking service.
Right. Any plans for expansion in the future?
In the future, I believe there are plans. These would be dealt with by head office, but I believe we have plans to expand because not only our business but our staff room has got so small inside, and we need to expand further.
Right, and you have a new manager also, is that correct?
We have a new manager who has just taken up his position with us in the last week. At this stage I think he's out doing business development. Tom Monaghan, who is captain of Cork Golf Club this year and a prominent member in the GA and in many organisations in Cork. Tom is originally from Kildare, so we're looking forward to plenty of new business coming into the branch.
Now this is your last chance to contact us live here in the studio at 965 888. That's 965 888. Anything you have of interest to tell us about Douglas, so if you'd like to come live on the air, please do so. Your last chance, 965 888. Okay, the O'Donnells of Grange were on to us. They say they would simply like to say hello to their cousins, the O'Mahonys of Shamrock Avenue. Well done indeed. All right, what do we turn to next? A well-known character in Douglas. When I called to 4 Garden Park, knocked at the door and greeted by an elderly gentleman and a good character. His name is Harry Cummins. Harry, in fact, was expecting his son to arrive back from England that particular morning, so we more or less surprised him and shocked him. But I asked him some of his earliest memories of Douglas.
The earliest? Well, the earliest memories would be, I'd say, the landing of Passage.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Free State soldiers landed there at the time. It was in the month of August, 1922.
You're as fit as a fiddle for a man of what age are you again?
79 on eh?
79. Tell me, do you ever take the old pint?
Don't talk to me. I know there's one thing, and if I thought I was going to lose a lot of it, I'd drink a lot more of it.
Would you? Where do you take the
I'd
pint?
drink share of it, I know.
Where do you drink in Douglas, Harry?
Mostly in the hall here, just across the road here.
How much is a pint over there now for yourself?
£1.
A pound for a pint?
That's for a pensioner, like.
Alright. How many in family with you, Harry?
There's only the one now.
But the rest of the kids?
Oh, you mean grandchildren, like?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, sure, I couldn't count them.
But you're a grandfather?
I'm a great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather? Yeah. My goodness. But how many kids did you have yourself?
5.
5. All boys or?
Oh no, 4. Where do I know? Let me think. 3. Oh, 4. 3 boys and a girl, sorry.
Very good, very good.
Oh, well.
Can you remember, we were speaking with Joe Donovan earlier on this morning, can you remember Joe coming to Douglas?
I do well. I do well.
Did he make a big impact?
Oh, he did. He started in a very small capacity, like. Little house or shop there just across the road.
What about the woolen mills? What memories have you of the mills on the road?
Well, I remember them when they used to come out. They used to walk all the way out from Blackpool, men and women, like.
Were there many people employed there?
There was about, I suppose, around about 50 or 60 at the time, like. Just walk there and then they'd be out to work at 6 and work till 6 at night.
What major changes have you seen in Douglas yourself?
Oh, well, since I tell you now, if you're standing there now, down by Driscoll's, take for instance, now we used to stand there one time, like, and anyone come along and ask you, where's such a place, or looking for someone in particular, like, you could direct them straight away, like, to it, but now you wouldn't have a clue, like, to the town itself now, like.
Besides yourself, Harry, are there many other characters around Douglas?
Ah, there is, but majority of them are dead now, like, unfortunately.
Any, can you call out a couple of the names, any of the nicknames of the lads that you used to pal around with?
Oh, there was Tom Kelly, Kylo they used to call him, and there was,
I caught you there, I think.
I think you had me all right.
No sports, did you ever pick up the old hurley or anything?
I used to, as a young fella, like, very young, that's all, but I never followed it up, like, you know what I mean? I follow hurling, like, all right, but never played it, like.
Soccer or rugby, anything?
Anything at all. Anything but rugby. I'm not keen on rugby at all.
So, somebody said you were a fine old singer.
Singer is right. See, I can't sing without a mic.
Without a mic?
Without a mic, you see. It's
Well, I'll tell you, just imagine that you have a microphone in your hand. Give us a quick bar of a song.
Song?
Anything at all. We go over to the Legion for a pint after that.
I can't think now. Now you ask me, would I sing it low, like?
Any way you want.
Now you ask me to sing you a verse of a song, and it's not very short, no, it's not very long. You ask me to sing you of something that's new. So begun and says I don't mind if I do. I couldn't go any further.
Well, there you go. Good old Harry Cummins, a man who I certainly believe people like him make the community. Thank you indeed. And Harry, I promised you a point, and if you're watching, I'm a man of my word. I'll come down and give you a shout someday. All right, I believe we have the last caller of the evening. It's Phil O'Brien. Hello, Phil.
Hello.
How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. And yourself?
I'm great altogether. Where are you calling us from?
Well, I'm phoning from Pinecroft.
I know it well.
I'm phoning on behalf of the Douglas Pitch and Putt Club.
You're going to get a few plugs in here, are you?
Yeah, right. I'm secretary of the club above, and just to let you know that we are open to new members, and we have coaching available. Now, the club was founded in 1955, and we have quite a few Irish champions under our belt.
Very good indeed.
John McHenry started his days in the pitch and putt above with us before he took up the bigger game.
Right, if somebody wants to take some lessons there, what's the initial fee?
Membership for husband and wife is £38 for the year. single membership is £25, and we have the juveniles, which is £10.
I believe your husband is also a member of the club.
That's right, he is, yeah. He is, yeah. He's a long-time member of the club now, and along with all the rest, our chairman, Ellis Ryan, and our treasurer, Dave O'Brien, they're all members of the victorious senior team that won the leagues.
You're situated on the Carrigaline Road, is that right?
That's right, that's right. We're open there now for a long time, and we could do with a lot of members, particularly ladies, Trevor. I'm very interested in the ladies' side of the pitch and putt, and we could really do with a few ladies, you know, to boost our side.
So if anybody wants to contact you, Phil, how can they do that?
Well, we can be contacted. I can be contacted here at home on 364-140.
Or any other number?
Or, well, I haven't another number at the moment, Trevor. But we're having our annual open now on the 5th of June, which has been very well sponsored in the last few years by Cashman's and AIB.
Very good, Phil. Sandra wants to have a word with you, but before that, the name is Paul.
Okay, Phil, I understand that your senior men's league won against Crosshaven.
That's right, Sandra, yeah. They had a very, you know, for the last 10 years, they've been in a number of semi-finals and finals and have been very unlucky to be beaten maybe by one game. But this year they finally made it.
And have you any competitions or any finals planned for the next few months?
Well, we have our open now, which is very, very, very important to the club. It's our financial money for the year, you know, and it's on the 5th of June to the 11th of June.
How is the interest generally in the area, Phil? Is there an interest in pitch and putt and golf in general?
Yeah, there's a good interest, Sandra, but it could be a lot better, you know. It could be, we could really do with a lot more ladies to join above. We have quite a few men, but we have only just a handful of women, really, which is a shame, you know, because the facilities up there are very good. We have a beautiful course, which we own half of ourselves, and we're not in any debt or anything like that at the moment, so things are looking good for us.
Phil, having John McHenry as an ex-member of the club, did it get you established that little bit more in any way?
I couldn't really say that, Trevor, really. You know, we've had, I suppose the fact that he was joined up there, a lot of the new members that we have now never met him really, you know, but we've known him personally, and there was the Morrises and the Kelleher's, and they were all involved in it, you know.
All right, Phil, it's been great talking with you.
Okay, Trevor, thank you very much.
Sorry, you probably didn't hear me a while ago. The name's Paul.
Sorry, Paul.
Well, you certainly got the plug in anyway, Phil, and the ladies seem to be doing very well out of this evening's programme.
Hopefully, anyway. Thank you very much, Sandra.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Good evening, Phil.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good evening. Well, that's just about it from Sandra and myself. Did you enjoy it?
I did. Some interesting characters. I never realised how much was going on in Douglas until I actually visited there.
Ah, sure, it's a grand old place.
Oh, aren't you there from yourself?
I am. Right, just around Douglas Common myself.